Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Guillermo, for your amazing presentation, and David. I'm going to be talking about Folio framework, which is a tool that we're developing in the university. But first of all, I want to explain you a little bit about my personal experience. I used to teach in a normal university, sorry about saying normal, but a presential university. And then 10 years ago, I came here to the online university. One of my background expertise is analyzing the interfaces we use. So when I got enrolled in this and I started working on this open university, I was very, very focused on the interface that we use as a university. And one of my research is based on human-computer interaction, specifically on how we use web pages, how we use buttons, and how buttons tell us what to do, and how we tell interfaces what we want them to do. So 10 years ago, I came here, and I asked myself, where am I? And it was quite interesting, because the first thing I did is I realized there were no students in our university, so I went there and like, no bar, no students, no stinky classrooms. Sorry about that, students, but you stink, we all stink. And the thing is that I got online. I just entered the website, our website that you all know, and I realized that I was there on the top. And I said, okay, there I am, and we have the classroom, everything, and so on. And then I clicked there, and boomer, I realized that this was my space on the online university. And this space allowed me to put 2 pictures, my name, a small presentation, and my email. And I don't know if you can see it, it's very tiny, but after 10 years, I got 74 visits. I'm really popular in this university, and I'm really happy that there's a lot of people coming to my website to see who I am. So I was asking myself, oh, maybe I got it wrong. And it's true, because there is a spy personal space. So I said, hey, let's click that. And I went to the personal space, and there's nothing to do with me. It's only in space for my enrollments, to pay the bills, to know how many courses I've been doing, but I cannot explain nothing about myself in that space. So I realized there was a complete lack of a personal space in our university. I was really concerned about that, because if we're going to be engaging in learning, which is a very, very social process, I was wondering, what's wrong with that? We don't have a space to be. So, solution, at least we can interact. It's an interactive campus. We're better than other universities because we have a quite interactive campus. And I said, well, let's see, where do we interact? And I realized the classrooms are very interactive spaces, and especially forums is where the students are able to communicate with others. There's another place where we interact, but as David was pointing, there's this feedback we get at the end when we, with the continuous assessment, we present something, and then we get like the comment from the teacher. For me, learning is not about just getting a number and just the feedback, because it's all about the process of how I achieve my goals and how I learn during this process. So I was a little bit disappointed on that, but finally, the solution, Google. Email allow us to interact. Okay, these are the 3 places where I thought it was more easy to interact, but it's just text-based interaction. So if you want to communicate in a graphical way, you want to show an image, I don't know if you've used it, but in forums, the attachments are amazing. You cannot even put the images on the message. You have to put it as an attachment. Okay, and the last thing is that when I came here, I started hearing that everyone was talking about how important was lifelong learning. And I was really interested in this concept, but I realized we're completely standard. We teach, like you enroll in the university, you have this I like this kind of container ship to explain the metaphor. I think you're doing activities inside a ship, and you do it during the time that you're in the university, but after that, you're not really using that as a long life experience. And I don't know of people going back to open university courses to check out things while they are cooking or interacting with other people or working. I think it's not really melting with our social lives and with our daily activities, which do happen with these companies that create social interaction. And I have mixed feelings about this because I hate social networks and I love social networks. And I try to make a talk about on Facebook, telling another Facebook is possible. Who doesn't like to be social? No one. But maybe we can ask for different ways of being social, maybe not run by corporates, or maybe not quantifying all our actions and doing it in different ways. So, this is the context, and I'm taking a little bit too long for the context. I'm going to try to make it 10 minutes. But we got a challenge in our creative campus that we're opening now with graphic design and arts grade. And they ask us for a rich and visual interaction space. And one of the things we decided is that it was very important to use portfolios, because the students can show in the portfolio their achievements, they can share their achievements, and so on. But for me, it was even more interesting, because I thought to myself, maybe we can challenge our university, and maybe we can stop being closed in classrooms and start to network all together and share knowledge in between students. Because I think one of the biggest and most interesting thing we can have is 70,000 students teaching each other and sharing with each other. So how to do that? We started to do a prototype with this Folio framework that uses our university system plus WordPress. Well, it doesn't look really amazing. It's not really amazing, but it's starting to work, which is really amazing. So why WordPress? Very briefly, it's open source. Most of the websites that you're visiting, like 27% of them, are run by WordPress, but 76% are the content management systems are WordPress. And an amazing thing, it's not owned by any company. There's no such a boss there. It's all community-based. And that, for me, is very interesting and very important to be coherent with the model. So I want to do the same. I want a network of students that work together, but there's no a leader controlling everything. So what we did is we developed 4 plugins that I'm going to explain very briefly to you. But what started to happen is that the students started to customize their spaces. These are real portfolios using WordPress that are from students of different courses. I'm going to show some of them. And these portfolios are connected to their online activity with the courses. And the students can visit each other and see what the others are doing in a very rich and visual way. How does that work? Very, very briefly, I'm going to explain. Oh, I got this kind of thing with the, sorry about that. Publinet is a system. We modified the way WordPress works with plugins, which means we keep the security of WordPress, we keep the stability of WordPress, we don't interact with WordPress, we just add functionalities. So we keep our university working as it works, our WordPress community to work as it works, and we just connect things. This is important to avoid getting into a crisis of updating and security issues. This system is allowing people to choose if they want to publish something in public, in the campus, in the classroom, only for the teachers, or in private. So this system of Folio allows the students to choose who they want to share their evidences with. Another thing that is important is that we have the activities that you use in the classroom connected to categories on the WordPress itself. So students can simply make a post and connect it to one of the activities that is connected to their classroom. And all of the activities, when they're connected to a classroom, appear in what we call an agora. An agora is a place where you can see all the students' work of all the classroom together in one space. So it's very interesting. I have a video that I'm not going to put, but because I could show you how it works, but it's not here to explain how it works. In our research, we've been running one pilot in 2018, the second one last semester, and now an ongoing one with 270 students. And what we're doing is design and creation in an iterative methodology. We're designing, checking, changing, designing, listening, and changing constantly. And we're trying to keep it very agile, trying to constantly listen what are the needs, what's working and what's not. And we're getting the feedback by surveys, interviews, and with users and experts. So finally, just to finish, let me tell you that for me, what is important here is to give the protagonism back to the students and to break this idea of classrooms as containers and open them to the world and make a better society of knowledge that we can share all together. Thank you.